for giving me the opportunity to share some view about the Jain heritage and Jain remains in from the Magadha area of the Bihar. I think from the last day to day onwards, already most of the speaker told about the history and other thing of the Magadha. So I am not enter in the details in this part, but however I try to share about some view on in perspective of the Jain connections. So like we all know, the Magadha is an important territory. Like the Buddhism, the Jainism also originated from this land of Bihar, and so there is a huge number of archaeological and sculptural remains we have found throughout the length and breadth of this state. And in the different Jain text also highlighted about the importance of the Bihar, Magadha, especially Magadha area. Like according to the Jain and Buddhist state, the Magadha was one of the center of the Jambudvip. So if we identify the Jambudvip as a Bharat Varsha, then the Magadha was the center of this Jambudvip. So it was mentioned in the Jain text also, and other scholar also highlighted about the different aspect of the Jainism. The Padma Purana also, like the Jaina text, also detailed described about the Magadha and its importance. The how the Magadha was important in that time, the flora fauna of the Magadha. So this text Padma Purana, which is a Jaina text, is a detailed mention about the different aspect of the Magadha area. And the Shvetambara tradition also mentioned about the one feminine in this area, like the Digambar also support this view, and the archaeological remains also supported this concept. And like the other king, the Udaybhadra, Nandas, and the Ashokas, these are the great emperor of the Magadha area, and they are all the follower and the not directly follower. They are also patron the Jainism, like the Buddhism. And there are a good number of the scholars who has already studied in the different aspect of the Jainism, but basically they have only mentioned about the images and detail description of the images. But if you study the chronology or the sequence of the Jain image development in the Bihar, then the Magadha is played a very important role, because the earliest image like the Lohanipur and the later image from the Rajgir and Nalanda also found also belong to this area. This is all known, well known. Lohanipur Jain. Also, there is a controversy about the identification, but this is identified as a Jain images. This is another images of the Parshvanath image, the early date, like we can call as a Gupta era, and it is the personal collection. In this image, you can see the bulkiness of the figure and the attendants, both the attendants, and also the miniature figure of the Jain Tirthankar in the seated posture depicted in the pedestal of the Jina. Then the Gupta era, we have the famous the Jain monastery as in the Rajgir Hill. Though the several work has already studied in the Buddhist aspect, but however the Rajgir mainly focus on in aspect of the Buddhism and Brahmanicalism. But in the context of Jainism, Rajgir played an important role as one of the main epicenter, we can call as the epicenter of the development of Jain art tradition from the 6th century onwards. And this art tradition also continue in the eastern part of the India, like the Bengal and Bihar, Bengal and Bangladesh. We have found the Jain images which continue, which reflect the art tradition which emerged in the Rajgir. So we can call as a Rajgir as one of the art tradition center, like the contemporary to the Sharnath school of art, which mainly focus on the Buddhism. But in the Rajgir we have found this similar type of development of the art, which mainly reflect the development of the Jain art and iconography. This is the famous images of the, we can call the Neminath images from this Rajgir Hill. In the image there is an inscription also, but it is not clear who are the founder, the donor of this image. But this is a very beautiful image. The head of the image is the partially damage. But however, the pedestal is the image is very unique and important. In these images, the presence of the double cognizance we can see, and which later on reflected in the other sculptural art, other Jain images in the other part of the Bihar as well as the Bengal. And the pedestal of this image is very important, and we can call, if we try to highlight it, the this type of the spoked wheel, and in front of the spoked wheel the miniature image of the Yuvaraj Neminath is depicted. So similar type of the spoke wheel we can found from the Shushunia hill as well as from the Mallasharul copper plate. So there is a this similar. I am not submit that these all three are the similar, but the style and the depiction of the images is more or less similar. We can establish, or we can explore this aspect in the near future. And then this is the another important cave, the Shonbandar cave, which is in the Rajgir hill rock cut cave. And in this cave, there is a good number of the Jain images engraved in the different in one cell and the outside of the cave. And like this is the images of two standing image of the we can call as a Padma Prabhu or the unidentified images. However, the hair touching the shoulder of the Tirthankar as per the iconographic norms in the Jain text, this image can be identified as a Rishabhnath. So, but in the pedestal, the lotus is depicted. So, this may be as a syncretic form of the Rishabhnath, the Padma, or the lotus only depicted as a pedestal. And this is the another images which is also a syncretic form, because we can see the behind the Tirthankara, or the Tirthankar seated on the snake coil, and the pedestal two elephant is depicted. The elephant is the identification of the Ajitanath, the second Tirthankar, and the Parshvanath like the snake hood. But this is also the syncretic form. But however, in this image, the most important feature is the depiction of the Dhanendra. The left side of the image is broken, so maybe the Padmavati also depicted here. So first time in the Jain art, we can see the depiction of the Yaksha and Yakshi in the both the sides of the Jain Tirthankar, which is the very good evidence we can found from this Rajgir. And the depiction of the halo is also very important. It is also depicted the decoration of the halo, the like the fire type evidence is depicted in the back side of the halo, which is also reflected in the Sarnath. I will show these images. In these images, on the two attendant figure and the Vidyadhar also depicted. So it reflects how gradually the Jain images developed from the Lohanipur to the Rajgir Shonbandar. And the first time the Kalpavriksha also depicted in the Rajgir, as well as the attendant figure or the devotee we can call, also the near to the pedestal depicted the devotee. And the outside the Shonbandar cave, this wheel also depicted, and some attendant figure also depicted, and some unfinished Jain Tirthankar also seen. Or we can see in the unfinished images. This is another beautiful image of the Tirthankar Neminath. And Neminath is the most depicted in the image in the Rajgir, which is also important aspect, because though the Rishabhnath is the first Tirthankara, but the depiction of the Neminath is very important. And in this image also you can see that the double cognizance, like the earlier images, here also the double cognizance of the conch is depicted in the center of the pedestal. And the first time the planetary deities, the 8 planetary deities depicted here. Later on it is also depicted the 9 planetary deities. So the depiction of the planetary deities also started in this Rajgir school of art, one of the element of the Rajgir school of art. This is the broken images in the Jamui area. We have identified or reported these images in the cluster. You can see that in the center there is a bulky image of the Tirthankar, which is the badly damaged, and the near to this image there is another small back stela. You can see in the center that the colossus is depicted, which may be identified as the Mollinath, because the Tirthankar Mollinath identified cognizant is the colossus, but in both the side of the colossus the two conch is depicted. So it may be the syncretic form of the Mollinath and Neminath. And in this image the small inscription we can see, but it is not clearly identified the decipher the inscription. In both the side, the two small miniature Jain Tirthankara in seated posture is also depicted. Then another Jain images from the Rajgir Hill, you can see the back slab of the image gradually developed, and this is the image is presently from the Rajgir and presently in the Los Angeles Museum. And in this image you can see the back slab, and this is the image of the Rishabhnath, that how they started the engraving the Chhatravoli as well as the Chorivera the Vidyadhara figure also depicted in the upper part of the back slab. And the pedestal also, you can see this is the image of Rishabhnath, and in the center they depicted the small wheel and flanked by the two bull. So the representation of the double cognizance, which maybe follow the concept of depiction of the Sarnath, the famous Buddha image with the Dharmachakra with the both the deer, or we can call this is a similar time both the art they develop in the Rajgir and Sarnath, and which reflect or which help each other, contemporary to each other. So in this image I'll try to show how the similar of these two school about Sarnath and we can call the Rajgir. In the left side image, this is the Buddha image from the Sarnath, and in the left side, in the right side, I try to show the development of the halo, the posture of the two feet and the pedestal also. So it shows the how similar the both the Buddha school of art we develop in the same period. And this is a small image. This is a badly damaged image from the Bhagalpur Museum. Though these are not came under the Magadha territory, but in this image is the contemporary to this Gupta period images. Because in the back side you can see the depiction of the snake, which is very crude in depiction. Later on, the highly decorated snake coil they started to the depiction. So this is the early images. It is presently displayed in the Bhagalpur Museum. Then we can call the gradual development from the Gupta to the post Gupta and gradually to the early medieval. These all images from the placed in the different scale of the Rajgir Hill, the standing posture images as well as the seated images. These are also the syncretic images. The elephant is depicted in the pedestal and the snake hood also depicted. So we can call it the syncretic image of the Parshvanath and Achitanath. And this is a beautiful image of the Rishabhnath. This image we can call as a belong to the 19th century, the post Gupta or the early medieval. How the double pair of the Vidyadhara they started depicted, the hairstyle of the attendance figure is also depicted. So the pedestal also depicted, and the single petal lotus they depicted. So this type of the feature they gradually developed. So in Rajgir we can see the Jain art tradition which emerged in the Rajgir. The art form is gradually developed, and all the images found or reported from the Rajgir area, we can if we examine this image thoroughly, it gradually reflect the development stages of the Jain images. And these are other images also from the Rajgir, and this is very interesting images. The image of the Tirthankara Munishubroto and the Bahurupini Yakshi depicted in the pedestal. Our former Director General Deola Mitra Madam identified the image as a Munishubroto, and the similar type of image I have documented during my PhD work from the Pisinar collection, which is also we can call it the Munishubroto. And this image also they collected from the Rajgir area. But interesting that in this image the pedestal is small colossus is depicted. So it may be the syncretic from the Mollinath or Munishubroto, or we can identify as the Munishubroto. The similar type of the Bahurupini Yakshi or the reclined image of the Yakshi also found in the Udayagiri Khandagiri cave of the Odisha, and one from the MP, Madhya Pradesh. And this is another images of the Rishabhnath. These are the Mohabir images. The left side, it is also from the Rajgir. You can see how the develop from the double petal lotus started. And in the right side, this is the image of the Jain tutelary couple. This is presently displayed in the Nalanda Museum, which also found from the Rajgir. So these are the images from the Rajgir, and this is also another Chomuka from the Rajgir, which is the left side, right side photo shown it is the archival photo. It is placed in the Shonbandar cave, and at presently it is displayed in the Nalanda Museum. This is another image from the Nalanda Museum of the Jain images, Shantinath and the PC and the NS Singh collection, Calcutta. This image also from the Rajgir area. The similar rock cut cave, the Sultanganj, Bihar, also represent one single solitary representation of the Rishabhnath. Though it shows the similar style like the bulky nature, bulky in nature, the body proportion. So it is also reflect the rock cut art, not only developed in the Rajgir, in the Sultanganj, which is also very familiar with the Brahmanical, but it also represent the solitary representation of the Jain images. And this is a beautiful image of the Rishabhnath from the Gaya, and the double pair of lanchan also depicted here in the center, flanked by the wheel, decorated wheel. And this is another image of the Rishabhnath. You can see the bull is depicted, and the highly carved jota you can see. So this, and the body proportion is also very slim. This is the beautiful image from the Parshvanath image from the Navada Museum, and in the image also you can see the depiction of the, though this is the Parshvanath image, the snakewood you can see the backside of the head, but in the pedestal the Dharmachakra flanked by the two elephant. Like similar type of the image we have found during my PhD. I have documented from the Murshidabad, Bengal, Jiaganj Museum. This is the image of Parshvanath, and then in the back slab the two snake, the snake flanked by the one wheel. So this similar feature, which this style which emerged in the Sharna, in the Rajgir area, is reflect in the early medieval school art in the Bengal. And this is the image inscription found from the Navada. And in the Navada image, we can see the pedestal, the just above the Dharmachakra, the 9 planetary deities depicted. Similar type of the 9 planetary deities depicted in the pedestal, also found from the Bangladesh, and one from the Babladi. So I have tried to show the contemporary features reflected in the other part of the Bengal and Bangladesh. And this depiction of the double pair lanchan, which emerged in the Rajgir, you can see from the Bengal, like the Birbhum, the Pisinar collections, as well as from Bangladesh. In all the three images, you can see the depiction of the double pair of the lanchan flanked by the Dharmachakra. And this is the image of the Neminath, which is also depicted in the wheel is depicted in the center. However, in the other part of the Bengal and Bangladesh, in respect of the wheel, they depicted the Shashana Devi or the Yakshini. Like in the center, the Chakreshwari they depicted. However, in case of the Bihar, they only depicted the center in the depicted only the wheel. This is the image from the Rajgir area, and which is presently collection in the Pisinar collection, Kolkata, the image of the Ambika. And this is the tutelary couple image, which is also you can call it the Jain parents from the Jamui. And this is the one Chomuka from the Lakhisarai Museum. The Lakhisarai Museum, this beautiful Chomuka is also depicted. Anil Kumar sir permit me to document these images. So it is very helpful for us for highlighted that in the Lakhisarai area also the Jain antiquity we have documented. And this is the beautiful Chomuka in the fourth side, Rishabhnath, Parshvanath, Mahavir, and Neminath is depicted. So this is the beautiful image. This is actually the votive stupa, like in Buddhism, in Jainism, this is the used as a votive purpose. This planetary, the tutelary couple also found from the Rajgir, which is also in the present collection of the Pisinar collections. This is from the Ghorsavan area. And this is from the Jain Ashtapada Tripta from the Indpe. So this is another Jain antiquity. Like in Bengal, we have found the Shaddeuli and Pakbira. And from the Indpe South Bihar area, we have found these beautiful Jain Ashtapada Tripta images. And this is the other images from the Nalanda Museum. This beautiful image of the Nalanda images we have found. So from the Nalanda also we have found the good number of the Jain images. And this is the Kakandi. During my field work, I have documented these images. This temple, inside the temple, there is a beautiful image. Although this is not early, this is the image of the 14th century, but it indicates that in the 14th century also this Jain tradition still continue, though the during the Islamic invention, after the Islamic invention, Buddhism decline or started decline from the Bihar area, but Jainism still survived in the Bihar, and it still continue. So Thank you. And through my presentation, I have tried to highlight it about the features, about the style which emerged in the Rajgir area. So Rajgir developed as a which is the one of the capital of the ancient capital of the Magadha. They were developed as a art center in respect of the Jainism, which is also contributed to the Sarnath. And later on, it reflect in the other school of art, like during the early medieval. Yeah, early medieval period in the Bengal and Bangladesh, this art style reflected and influenced the art development in the Bengal and Bangladesh. So thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my view on the Jain remains or Jain antiquity from the Magadha area.